scapegoat is.
Hello, and welcome to the El Cachorro Show. I am your host, El Cachorro, and today we are talking about the Clone War, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 3, On the Wings of Cardax. We'll go with that. Sounds close enough. Hopefully, we can get to this video. I had an internet disruption, so I'm recording again. Fun story. Once again, if you're here, if you can hit that like button, that's awesome. Even more important, you can hit the subscribe button. I really could use that so I can get my own little cool title up here at the top. So you're when you're looking, it's got all those numbers at the top. I would like it to be the El Cachorro, but I have to have 100 subscribers, so help me out. You don't even have to hit the bell. Just give me a subscribe, help a guy out. Awesome. Now, back to the episode. So, we are going to continue the Echo story arc for the third episode, which makes you wonder how many episodes was this season. I'm going to think that this was a 12 episode season. If so, that means 1/4 of it has been this Echo storyline. So, kind of need them to start expanding some other stuff. We haven't even got Ahsoka back yet. The first big thing I noticed about this episode is it is extremely short. I think it says on the Disney Plus it's 21 minutes, but that's 3 minutes of credits at the end. So it's only like not even 18 minutes long. And the first episode was probably somewhere in the mid 20s, and the second episode was in the lower 20s. So the episodes are getting shorter. This has been a big problem with Disney Plus. The Mandalorian had this issue a lot. Some of its episodes were extremely short. Disney, you got to give people full length episodes. If you want your streaming service to be good, if you shortchange people, that's gonna, even Netflix gives people full length episodes. Just saying, guys. But that's aside. Now back to the actual episode. So where we left off, as they broke into the techno base, they found Echo. He was plugged into a machine, kind of like Frankenstein kind of stuff. So they dropped him out of the machine. He came to and realized who he was, and so that's where we left off. So we weren't sure where they were going to go with the next episode. So it turns out there's our recap. Boom. So it turns out they're still in the base. They're fighting the droids because they haven't been able to unhook Echo from the machine yet. So Anakin's asking for him to work on buy some time while he goes check and sees what's going on. So we go in here and find out, Tech's having some problems getting the machine to put something, to be able to release him from the machine without killing him, because it's plugged into his brain and spine and stuff. So they can't just unplug him. So he's working on that, need more time. Of course, Rex, gives him an update on Echo's condition, and we see their clones, our Bad Batch guys, are getting overrun by the new battle droids and getting pushed back into the room where they close the doors and seal themselves in. Of course, and the droids are showing that they can pull the doors open. One puts his head in. Our good old friend Wrecker grabs the head and rips it off so they can close the door because he's Wrecker and he's strong. He's strong. So they decide to weld the door shut. Well, since Tech needs more time, and then boom, 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 boom. Watt and the DJ crew shows up with they bring the techno music, and he finds out they're trapped inside with Echo, and he wants his clone property back since he converted him into some kind of machine thing. So see your Tech or Crosshairs, I think it is seeing that they are surrounded, so they're going to need some way out. And Watt is unleashing the Decimator, which is this little ball orb thing here, which starts welding through the door, cutting through the doors. So I was like, all right, that's cool power. It can cut through doors. Doesn't really describe why it's called the Decimator yet. We will see. So the clones see it cutting through the doors. They decide, so they back up, and there's another set of doors they close and weld them shut to give them more time. So finally, Tech is able to free Echo from the machine so they can unplug him. So you can see here what they've done to him a little bit here. He's got this big metal plate on the back of his head with the tubes. It goes all the way down his spine with more tubes. One part you'll see he has one of his arms is completely robotic. Looks like a screwdriver end. I think he has a robot leg on top of that too. So he's like half machine now, kind of RoboCop-ish. So the game unplugged. He drops the floor, and he starts coming to. Rex is giving his, it's good to have you back, buddy. And of course, Anakin's like, hey, sorry, it's a touchy moment, but we got to get out of here. So Echo, who was like, well, while I was plugged in the machine, they could read my mind, but I could also read their computer mainframe, so I know the building schematics. He's actually able to say that they could escape. As you can see, the Decimator's coming in through a vent in the ceiling. Of course, the idea was how do you get up there and nice good close up of our good friend Wrecker here. So they're trying to figure out how to get up there. Wrecker starts just grabbing people and throwing them up in the air to the hole because he's strong. He still needs to die. To be fair, he's not as annoying as this episode he's been in the last two for me. So I will admit that he's more bearable in this episode. He still needs to die. So you got Watt and his boys just hanging out on the outside, waiting for him to get through. Oh, so we just get that. The one thing I found interesting is I wanted to see was Wrecker's throwing people up into the tube here. So how is that going to work with Echo? You don't see that. It just cuts to a scene and Echo's like holding on to the back Tech's back while Rex is climbing up behind him. So you kind of skip that part. So he gets up to Anakin. Wrecker goes to throw Anakin up, and he's like, boy, I'm a Jedi. I don't need your help. I got the Force. So he Force jumps up there because he's Anakin. He's a badass. And there's bring up the point is how is Wrecker going to get up there? It's kind of went too far there. So Wrecker decides that does actually a very intelligent thing here, which he thought one of the other ones would do. So he starts throwing these little bombs all over the place because he wants to blow up the science lab that Watt was running these experiments on to try and stop him from doing it. Meanwhile, as you can see the purple lightning bolts here, the Decimator has entered the room. See, there it is. Oh, cool. Good shot. That worked perfectly. 30-second jumps worked. So we find out the Decimator can shoot these purple lightning bolts all over the place. Looks kind of badass. I'm not going to lie there. So he gets to the room and starts shooting these lightning bolts, and Anakin uses the Force, and he pulls Wrecker up to the vent. And as soon as Wrecker gets in, the vent closes. So they're safe from the decimator. Which then turns off, and was like, why did it turn off? And it's because it did not detect any organic matter. So it only goes after living things. So that's pretty cool droid. So I guess that's the blowback part. So there's no organic matter. So Watt looks through the hole that the decimator cut through, and he sees all the bombs everywhere. And then the bombs explode, and you see this fire, and this fire comes up and rushes into Watt's face. And I'm like, whoa, they just killed Wat Tambor. But no, he just turns out he got knocked on his ass, and he leans up, not even burnt, nothing. No damage from the fire at all. It's like, oh, well, I guess he's okay. So he goes in, he sees his lab is destroyed. Now he's all ticked off because he's lost all his research and all his stuff like that. And he wants the clones found so he can get Echo back. So we see him going through the ventilation shaft. That's where Echo reveals how he knew about how to get there. So they're pretty much like, "What's the plan? How we? Is there a safe way out of here since you know everything?" And he's like, "Well, there's a way out." Like I said, like if you remember the last episode, if you've been watching, this base is high up in the clouds. It's kind of a cloud city. Ha ha ha. So the plan is to go across from one building to the next on this pipe thing there. And there's a landing pad connected to the next building, and hopefully there's a ship there that they can steal. Solid plan, So as you can see there, look at that view. Ooh. So they start crossing the beam. This is where we get another good Wrecker moment. He's obviously the one that's scared of heights. So he's like, "Oh, just keep moving. I can't look down. Oh, crap. I looked down. I'm going to be sick." That's his most annoying. This is after the rest of this episode, he's not bad. There's something else later with him, but I don't put that on him in particular. We'll make fun of that when we get there. So they're crossing, but here come the droids from both sides. So now they're trapped and they have nowhere to go. So they need to come up with a plan. So look, you got droids, a huge amount of droids coming from both sides. They're right there. So Anakin's like, "Hey, anybody got a brilliant plan?" And Tech's like, "Yeah, man, I got a brilliant plan. I happen to record those calls of the flying reptiles from the last episode because and then of course there's one of the other guys like, yeah, Tech records everything. It's his hobby. It's called, we needed some plot armor to get out of here, so we're just going to have it magically that he write that into the script. Heavy plot armor there. So he calls up and starts playing the call of those winged things. I guess that would be Cardax, on the wings of Cardax. I guess they're called Cardax. So he's waiting for them. So he's calling them. Ooh, little eye problem there. So of course, one side of the droid starts shooting. That's the side that Anakin's on, so he can block it with his lightsaber. Meanwhile, the droids on the other side do not shoot, even though they could easily pretty much pick off the clones all the way through. Oopsie. So I thought that was funny. He's like, why aren't these guys shooting? They could kill them all real quick while they're waiting for these things to get here. So the reptiles show up, and of course, the only way to get on them is they have to jump. Anakin, of course, jumps first. Surprisingly, Echo went second. Good way to get back on the ball, Echo. And then there's another good scene. So we know Wrecker's scared of heights. One of the clones loses his balance, starts to fall, and Wrecker kind of dives, catches him, and then wraps his legs around the beam, and so he's hanging upside down. For a guy scared of heights, that's a pretty ballsy move. So he kind of when everybody else is jumping on him, so he kind of just falls on the one and grabs it around the neck because he's Wrecker. He can't do anything normal. He's always he's the comical element of the show. So this is where we find out something else about our battle droids. Why they look so weird is because those things on their backs are wings. They can fly. I mean, that kind of finally decides why they look so weird. Yeah. Sorry. So they're chasing after them and shooting at them. And Anakin's like, we gotta find a way to lose these guys. Too far. So they go through a cloud and they come out and you see one of the droids smash into a rock. But then you clearly see the rest of them fly past the rock, still chasing them. I mean, they're like, you saw this, they're like pretty close together. So then we have a little cut to Anakin and the clones landing back at the village from the last episode. I guess. So they kind of, the guys that were following them kind of somehow lost them. Even though it didn't show them get lost. It looked like they were still right on their tail. So, of course, the chief, though, he's like, hey, wow, you chained our reptiles. That's cool. But what the hell are you doing here? You weren't supposed to come back here. And, oh, we wore out our welcome at the, whatever that village was, Watts base was called. Like, well, no, duh. We had nowhere else to go. I mean, you could have flew to your ship that you have parked. Just saying. You could just flew to your ship. And of course, now our droids finally catch up to them. I mean, those reptiles must be really, really fast flyers because these guys fell way behind. So they shoot into the village, couple shots, they were to take out a couple of droids, but a couple of the droids escape. So the chief's really ticked off now because like you broke your word, you brought your war to our village. And before anyone can say anything, that's where Rex jumps in and he gives a big speech like, yes, you're right, we broke our word. But look what they did to my friend. So he shows off, what the separatists were doing I don't know, does he call them separatists? I guess he calls them the techno guys. We're doing to my friend. And shows Echo's half robotic body. And the chief feels sorry because we've had several episodes of the Clone Wars in the past where the native people to the planet did not want anything to do with the war. They wanted to be left out of it. The separatists do something, show how evil they are, and then they side with the Republic. So that's how boring that theme is. That's how they've used that theme several times. It's kind of the same old thing. So the chief says, well, that's wrong. So they decide to join the Republic to fight. And then one of the clones is like, well, it's a good thing, because there's an army coming at us, and we're going to need all the help we can get. He actually says that he's detecting that there's troops inbound to him. And then we cut back here to where the droids that escaped land and inform Watt that they lost the clones because they were able to get to the native village and were mixed in with the natives. So the guy who saw the army coming could not have seen an army coming because it hasn't happened yet. Oops. So Watt wants his property back. So this is where he says that line. I think this is where he says a line. A very interesting line. And that I'm going to tie back into the very end of the episode too. So he's now fearing that he's lost his clone, Echo, but he wants to recoup on his investment. Because we inform the separatists that we've lost the algorithm. The no, we won't, not yet. First, I want to recoup on my investment. Interesting line. And I have a theory of that at the end. A couple of theories. I've actually heard somebody else's theory too. So the droids go off for war. So they go to the village. They land at the village. And everybody's hidden. Waiting for an ambush. So it starts off with, I guess, Anakin and a couple of them up on this ledge, and a wrecker guy pushes a rock down, a big giant boulder rolls down the hill and crushes a bunch of droids. So then when the battle ensues, so here's the real reason why they needed the native people to join them. It's because they needed some red shirts. Literally. Native people are getting slaughtered here in this episode. There's like several, it shows several native people getting killed. Like right here's one. This is like a point blank one. There's the droid, there's the dude, and the droid, you totally see the droid shooting and kill him. Meanwhile, you got the Bad Batch guys just running through like they're the Avengers, fighting, throwing knives to each other and just fighting back and forth like, superheroes. It's like nothing's happening to them while the natives are getting slaughtered, pretty much. There's really, I think I threw the knife to this guy, the hunter guy, who's like going nuts with the knife, dropping some little electro charge bombs to stun them. So like, all right, you guys are superheroes, but you're getting natives killed. So then the reinforcements come in, and this is kind of cool. It's kind of similar to a droid that we've seen in the past. There was I don't know what it was called. It was kind of like a spider droid. Maybe we would call it a spider droid. They had a bunch of legs, like a big turret head, and like a long snout that it could shoot from. So it was kind of like a droid tank kind of thing. So we get that on crack. Or steroids, you can even say, I guess. See if we can get a good shot. Can I see one of these things? If I can get an image of it up. Wow, seriously? It's like skips all around it. I cannot get that. It's like, what are the odds of that? So it's there, finally. Jeez. So you can see it here. Kind of small. I'll do a quick little look, see. Boom, like that. I don't leave it too big because they are very copyright happy at Disney. So it's really, really tall. It's got to fly a little bit. It's got 3 big legs. Then it's got the big circular turret with 3 snouts, turret snouts that shoot these giant mega blasts as like just bomb things. So of course some flying droids come up here, and so what we have. So meanwhile, remember we have a couple of the Bad Batch clones and all the native people fighting these robots on this war that they didn't bring to them. Meanwhile, our Jedi leader is standing up on a peak with Echo, who I understand there's a good reason why Echo's not fighting. I mean, the guy only has 1 arm. He's in weak right now. Crosshair's a sniper dude. That makes sense. He's a sniper dude. He should be up high picking things off. Why the hell is Anakin up there? And not down there fighting in the crowd? I mean, he's supposed to be the Jedi general that was always first with his men. Yet he's been perched on top of a rock. I mean, starting off the battle out there makes sense. Okay, so you're calling out. Okay, their gens roll the rock down the hill. That makes sense. But why didn't he join the fight after that? He just stayed up here this whole time so he can make his grand entrance. So pretty much he calls down to the clones below. He's like, hey, we got to take out these 2 tanks. So Rex and Wrecker and Hunter are going to go after one. Anakin's going to get the other one. So they're chasing after it and shooting after it. This is where you do get a cool line. So Anakin's setting up, and this is where Echo's like, still like to show off, huh, General? And that's pretty much dead right. So Anakin runs and jumps off the cliff and lands lightsaber first into the turret thing, and he slides down it, and he jumps from turret to turret, cutting the turrets off. So it can't shoot. Because, he's a Jedi. He's got to make his thing. So meanwhile, our clones are saying, I was like, well, they're shooting at the bottom of it, not doing any damage. And they see Anakin. He's like, well, that works. How do we do that? And this is where we get old Wrecker again. grabs Rex, throws him up in the air at the turret. So Rex grabs onto the turret. Then he throws the hunter guy up at another turret, and they both shoot out the eyes to that exact turret. So there's only one turret left, and that's taken out by, I guess. Let's see, you see where the clones are landing on the turrets. Well, the third eye gets shot out by the sniper guy. So the third one, it says it's guns, but it has no eyes. And here's where we get our more Avengers moment. So while the clones are fighting theirs, you see a native guy is dragging an injured native guy up, and the machine's got its legs and it's pulling up one leg and it's going to step on him. And of course, the wrecker guy comes in and he pushes him out of the way and he catches the leg as it's coming down on the ground. And you can see him getting pushed into the ground. He's pretty much the Incredible Hulk in this scene. Now, yes, I know I hate Wrecker, and I'm not putting this actually on the character of the film. I'm putting this on the fact that they have made these batch of clones the Avengers. You are really starting to see the Disney influence on the show here. There's no way this guy should be able to withstand this thing crushing him. It would kill. I mean, you're making these Bad Batch clones superhuman. I mean, you already kind of had them where they were Overwatchish and worked to their cliffs. The tech guy was the nerd. The hunter guy looked like Solid Snake and all that kind of stuff. But now you have and we've seen Wrecker do some crazy stuff like throw a ship off a person and crap. It's too much. This is just too much. You're going too far with these guys. What's great about the clones is you had these stereotypes in the clones before when you first introduced them. You had Echo, he had his set, but he had his person, and they all looked the same. You know, this is when they all looked the same. So, but Echo, you know, they would like have like different hairstyles or face tattoos or different suit markings. There's Echo. You had Fives, and then your big bruiser guy was Heavy. But you did it so much better because you fit those those types of characters, but they were written where they fit with the canon where they each fell in. Of course, Heavy got killed, sacrificed himself, but he was Heavy was the big heavy strong guy using the heavy weapons, but he was still human. This is superhuman. This is totally Marvel influenced Star Wars. How we argue against that? I mean, that's ridiculous right there. So he's holding it off. So Anakin jumps off. He cuts the leg off of one, jumps up in the air, does a force push, and pushes the one into the other, knocking them down and taking them out. So now they're both out. The remaining droids fly away. Perfect. That was a perfect cut. And everybody starts cheering because they won. Yay, we win. Woohoo! And there's another interesting little throwaway line that almost sound like it could be more resentful than I guess it actually was meant to be. But of course, the natives are cheering Anakin for his feats. And Rex is like, "Oh, it's always hard to compete with a Jedi." Didn't sound like there was any maltent to it, but wow, there could easily be some maltent to that. Oh, so we go back to what? Oh, this might be where he says that line. This might be where he actually says, "Don't inform the separatists. We need to recoup on our investment." I think this is where that line was actually at. It's like, interesting. So we go there. The native people are throwing a farewell to the clones. And said that they were now friends of the Jedi and the Republic, and we're on their side in the war, even though it's their people that got killed and no clones. So this is where we get an interesting point. So as everybody's boarding the ship, Echo stops Rex to say, "Hey, thanks for coming after me." Rex say, "Hey, that's what brothers are for. I'm sorry it took so long." And then we get a part it's like, and Rex says, I was helping me make sure I word this right. So yeah, hopefully it'll be just like the good old days. So hopefully it could be just like the good old days. So he says that to Echo, and then turns around, and starts walking on the ship. Echo pauses, and he goes, and then the music gets a little more kind of ominous, a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of like an ominous but sorrowful, sad, kind of mixed together. And Echo kind of repeats, "It's like, yeah, like the good old days." And that's where the episode kicks off. Really was kind of wanting to see, the way they were setting this up. I was wanting to see if like it was like going to be like some like robotic like red glow to his eyes or something like that. Because I mean, when you had Watt saying recoup on our my investment, I mean, I've heard people take it different ways selling. I'm thinking, is Watt able to like see through Echo? Because I mean, we know he's half robotic. He's got all this stuff. Like, can Watt control Echo? Maybe Watt can see through Echo's eyes. Something I feel like Watt's gonna be able to do something with Echo. Just because this ending just sounds like there's something more going on here. Because you had him, Watt said what he said, and then just this Echo like, yeah, like the good old days. So it just sounds like there's something more going on with Echo. So, I mean, I don't know if I can get the next image. There's no tell. He's just the way he said it. There's like, so there's no nothing happens. There's no eye glow, no robotic sound, no glitch, no nothing. It's just really weird the way he said it. Repeated it back. Like, yeah, like the good old days. So just feels like there's gonna be some more twist with Echo. Definitely feels like there's gonna be something going on here with him. I mean, I almost don't know. Maybe him and the Watt phrase is going to be completely separate, but I almost kind of feel like the Watt line is going to tie into this. I guess we'll find out. So I'm assuming this is the end of this storyline, so they can start moving towards like I said, we got to bring Ahsoka back. You got to if it's only 12 episodes, you only got 9 more to go. So you want to do that and set up some more Revenge stuff for Revenge of the Sith. So but I still think there's going to be something more with his Echo storyline once they moving forward. So interested to see how that goes. Um, see if they fully continue that next episode, or if they kind of start something else and subplot this is to build into something else. So I really enjoyed this whole Echo story arc. So I did like that part. As we've known in the past, the Bad Batch clones have been kind of with me. I feel they're too cartoonish. Like I said before, I kind of thought of them as Overwatchish, Apex Legends kind of characters, because they all kind of were designed look just like their power set. You know, the big guy, the hunter guy, the tech guy, the sniper guy. They all kind of look just like the stereotypical way you think you would draw a character of that mindset, which is kind of a breakaway from the clones. This episode, I kind of got what they were going on there a little bit more. So this is where they were the Avengers. They're fighting in the battle scene, just taking everything out, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually what it is. They're the Avengers. This is Marvel influenced Star Wars here, from the Mouse Overlord. So while I'm on them, this episode actually was didn't. I mean, obviously, I have my gripes with Wrecker because, well, he's a Wrecker and he's annoying. But overall, I kind of liked them a little better. They did not have any of the last 2 episodes. There's moments where they were dicks to Rex, which I thought did not seem to fit right to me because Rex is a clone commander. I mean, I'm guessing. I thought him and Cody were about equals, but maybe Cody's above him. From what I picked up from the other episode. But Rex is a pretty highly ranked officer. So I don't know if even if he's not Cody's equal, he's right below Cody as a leader of the clone army. And the first couple episodes, there was times where they would take pot shots at him, and that bothered me. They didn't do that this episode, so I like that a lot. So they kind of pretty much respected Rex and everything in his orders, followed his orders, and didn't really gripe at him and stuff like that. So that actually made me kind of like him a little better because they weren't as annoying or as assholes. Let's see. For the first 3 episodes, I like this better than the second episode. I think this may have been better than that because there's some more action stuff in this. I don't know if I'd put it over the first episode. So I'd say probably slightly below the first episode, which what my rankings. I'd say, so I think so far I've pretty much given everything a 7. I think it's all been enjoyable. If this one been not up, is maybe because the Bad Batch clones were not as bad. So those were the setbacks of some of the other ones. So yeah, I'll stick with a 7. It was a good episode, fun, good story, good fights, good battle scenes. Some stuff that made no sense. Some stuff might kind of makes you wonder if they're kidding it down for Disney a little bit. Can't have the main characters die. Episode length was kind of a bummer, but solid 7. And well, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, see what the next story arc is going to be. I'm assuming that's going to get something new next episode. So, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Remember, stay classy. I know it's YouTube and it's cool to be toxic. Down there's a bunch of links. As I said, like the video, helps me out. More importantly, subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out because I want to get that, personalized web address at the top. And you got to have 100 of those for that. So I got a long way to go. Also, we have a Facebook page. We have a Twitch page where I play video games. I believe yesterday I played Overwatch for the second time in a year. I guess I did decent. I used to play Destiny 2. Gets kind of got stale. That game's gotten stale on me. Like Jurassic World Evolution, playing at the zoo. I played Jedi Fallen Order last night. Some Resident Evil 3 is a game that's on my to play list. Final Fantasy 7, if I can figure out how I can stream it with my PlayStation, because I don't have a mic or a camera on my PlayStation, so I guess I would have to try and hook it up through the PC, and I don't really know how about to go about doing that because I'm so amateur. But I try and stream different things, have fun. So feel free to follow me down there. I have a Discord. There's only 4 people in it, but hey, we talk movies, sci-fi, sports. I think I have some regular game rooms. I got some mobile game rooms. I play Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which I'm willing to bet I'm going to see a lot of these characters come to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I'm willing to bet the Bad Batch is going to be a whole team they're going to add. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. Probably that new battle droid will probably be one. So play those 2 games. So we have Discord, so join that if you like. Be more my 5th person. There's Twitter. There's a Facebook. Twitter is just my personal face. I don't do much on Twitter because I'm not a huge Twitter guy. The El Cachorro has his own Facebook page, the El Cachorro Show, like that. But most importantly, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the thing I need the most. And once again, I thank you for watching. If you are watching, I appreciate it. You have a great day, and may the force be with you.
And when you lie, I can feel it coming like a flash. Give me cover, in the eye. And I can feel a panic coming on. Dying, everything around you till it's haunting. You do it, working for you, dying.
Yeah,